What are your
sort of
thoughts
different.
on giant anacondas? Like, because there's
Oh, boy.
always been this thing about enormous anacondas that live in the rainforest.
So, yeah, there's fascinating. So I love anacondas. I believe that there are 30-foot anacondas. Now, 30 is a big anaconda, but you're talking about those mysterious, like 50, 100-footers.
Yeah.
Okay, so during World War II, there was a colonel who flew over there, who him and his 2 passengers in the plane both reported a 100-foot-long snake. They flew over it once. They're like, wait a minute, what is that? They were Dutch Belgium in the Congo. They flew over it once, went, what is that? And flew over it 2 more times to verify it, and got so low to the ground that they said the snake struck at the airplane. And all 3 people, the pilot, this well-respected colonel, and the 2 passengers, had the exact same story of this giant snake in Central Africa.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It says it measured approximately 50 feet in length, saw brown-green with a white belly, has a triangle-shaped jaw and a head 3 by 2 feet. Oh, my God. A 3-foot head. The photo was later analyzed and verified to be genuine. Van Leerd claims that, is that how you say his name?
I'm not sure, but that was the colonel, Remy Van Leerd.
As he flew lower for a closer inspection, the snake rose up approximately 10 feet, giving a warning that it would have attacked a helicopter if it had been within striking range.
But imagine flying over and having a snake sort of lunge at a helicopter.
Imagine a 3-foot snake head. Jesus
So,
Christ.
Jamie, do you mind going to my Instagram
Literally
quickly?
swallow you alive,
Dude,
easily.
look at this one. I posted a picture day before yesterday. This is 18 feet, and look at the size of it compared to me. You're like an M&M
Yeah.
to a snake that
You're
size.
a Tic Tac.
Yeah.
You're one of them chocolate-covered almonds
Yeah.
that are so good for you.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at the size of that thing.
That's an 18-footer, and
Oh
look at
my
how.
God.
Granted, it's not 3-foot by 2-foot head, but still, that thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it was over 200 pounds.
Wow. Indonesian villagers claim to have captured a python that is almost 49 feet long and weighs nearly 990 pounds.
I've seen this. It's not.
Snake?
It's not verified at all.
What is the biggest snake? Is it a python? The biggest snake that we know of?
So the heaviest is the reticulated python.
Look at the size of that thing.
Yeah.
How big is that?
That's big. It's probably 20-ish. So there's quite a lot of 20-foot snakes out there. And then there's a couple 21, 22s, but that's it. And so there's all these rumors of 30-foot snakes and 40-foot snakes and blah, blah, blah. And there's nothing that's been verified outside of one skin, I believe. I want to say from Indonesia that is like, but skin stretch. That's the other thing,
it
too.
turns out to be a tall tale. It says when Recreation Park in Indonesia put a huge reticulated python on show last week, keepers insisted to reporters it was 49 feet long, make it the longest ever caught, but the find turned out to be a tall tale.
Yeah.
So how big was it exactly?
I bet it was 20-ish. 21, there it is.
Yeah, 21 feet. Still
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
It's a big snake, man.
But not 50.
Not 50.
What does it say? I have no idea why the snake has shrunk, said one keeper when asked about the discrepancy as the snake lounged on a tree branch inside the cave.
Performance
But things
anxiety.
do shrivel up when you catch them.
Yeah.
You know, like fish do. Like when you catch
animals?
a fish. Yeah.
Well, definitely when you tell people about it. But
So the biggest in the world is the python, right? So they're bigger than anacondas?
So it's sort of a toss-up. The reticulated python has been clocked as the heaviest snake in the world because they get fatter, but the anacondas have been clocked in slightly longer. I think 26 feet is the longest ever recorded.
Did you ever see the
verified.
Jennifer Lopez movie?
Yeah, it's great.
It's such a corny movie,
It's
man.
so good. The bad like snake head if you
Oh,
watch it
it's so
today.
bad.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. But that was always the rumor, is that there was enormous snakes in the Amazon,
Yeah.
and that you just didn't see them.
There are some megafauna out there that are yet to be found, that are in low populations.
Like you believe in the sloth, the giant sloth.
I believe that has a,
Yeah.
and again, that's like the thylacine. It's a proven animal. It's been 10,000 years, but it doesn't mean that it couldn't be extant in certain remote areas. Same with some of these big snakes. And I just think that there are a few, not a lot, of these big things out there. If you're one of these uncontacted Amazonian tribes, of which there are still several, and you're seeing a 50-foot snake, nobody in the Western world, we're not hearing about that.
Right.
You know, like
Right.
those things can be happening and those stories get embellished and passed on and all of that, but we wouldn't even know until Western science gets in there. But I do believe that there are big animals to be found still.
And the sloth one, I watched a documentary on it once. It was this guy who was like risking his reputation. He was a biologist, and he had spent months in the Amazon. He was very frustrated.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't find anything, and they kept saying, "We saw it, we saw
Yeah.
it," and he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Where?"
I know that feeling well. And I've had guys be like, "Oh yeah, they're delicious." I'm like,
What?
"Wait, like, tell me where to find it. Like, you've eaten it, and you have no reason to lie about this whatsoever. Like, please just help me."
What was this that they said?
That
they'd
was
eaten?
regarding that caiman. Remember that yellow caiman?
Yeah.
And we did find them, so that worked out. But literally, I remember we're walking through the village on day one before we even get in the canoes, and I'm like showing people these pictures of all the different species of caiman. And then one guy's like, "Oh, those are delicious." And I'm like, "Oh God, like, can we put this on Animal Planet? I don't even know. Like, I don't. Can you say that this thing is delicious?"
Endangered species that you're eating. Well, there was always these rumors of like these places where these billionaires would fly into in China and eat like gorilla.
Yeah.
And you know, have you ever heard of that kind
Oh,
of
yeah,
stuff?
I've heard about it. I believe it, too. Especially with China, where the Eastern medicine and the status symbol of eating tiger whiskers and this, that, and the other thing.
There's a status symbol of eating something that's forbidden and
Right.
very difficult to acquire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, you know, China has so many billionaires now. I forget what it is, but dozens and dozens of them, right? Status symbol is important to someone with that much power and money. How are you not getting it?
Yeah, what a weird culture where your status is based on eating something that's endangered. Have we ever talked about the Bondo ape?
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you
Yeah.
like the Bondo ape a lot. Yeah. Big lion-killing apes,
Well,
right?
this is a big chimpanzee that
Yeah.
lives in the Congo.
Yeah.
I know there was some controversy behind that, and there's some people that sort of denied its existence. But then Carl Armand got photographs of them, and they obtained skulls that were a chimpanzee skull that had a crest.
Enlarged. Yeah.
Well, they also had like a crest, like the same way that a gorilla does.
There's no denying that they existed, right? There was this insular gigantism that took place within this group of chimpanzees. There was heightened aggression. You know, that's all like known and documented. But it wasn't a new species. It wasn't a distinct species. It was natural selection that led to these animals being different and isolated and turning into larger, more aggressive chimpanzees.
But would that also make their skulls different?
It can do, you know.
Because, like, okay, well, oddly enough, we have a skull. The difference is with this skull versus what they think the Bondo ape skull is, that the Bondo ape has like a bone mohawk
Right
down
through
the
here.
center.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a gorilla does.
Sure. Sexual selection over time can evolve for anything, can adapt for anything, right? That's why peacocks have the silly tail they have. It doesn't help them fly, right? It's only sexual selection it's being bred for. So you get a bunch of chimps stuck on an island, stuck in a region, and the females decide, for whatever reason, that a bump on the head is sexy.